Good afternoon and welcome to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2017 of Northwest High School. Would everyone please remain standing during the national anthem played by the Northwest Band and Orchestra. You may be seated. I would like to introduce several important and honored guests who are in attendance for today's ceremony and whose support for the class of 2017 is much appreciated. Please stand as your names are read. Seated on stage are Mrs. Pam Detzel, the President of the Northwest Local School District Board of Education, and Mr. Todd Bowling, Superintendent of Northwest Local School District, as well as Northwest High School science teacher, Mrs. Danielle Stosser. Also seated on stage are several honored students who will be recognized throughout our ceremony this afternoon. Seated in the stadium are other important guests. Please stand when your name is called. Northwest Local School District Board members, Mr. Jim Detzel, Mr. Michael Harlow, Dr. Chris Heather, and Mr. Bob Engel, along with Central Office Administrators, Mr. Darrell Yater, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Student Services, Mrs. Amy Wells, District CFO and Treasurer, Dr. Stephanie Kessling, Executive Director of Human Resources, Mrs. Jennifer Blust, Director of Curriculum Services, Mrs. Chris Langford, Assistant Treasurer, Mr. Chris McKee, Director of Business Operations, Mrs. Brenda Miller, Director of Instructional Accountability, Mrs. Pauletta Crowley, Assistant Director for Community and Student Services, Mrs. Heidi Stickney, Assistant Director of Curriculum and Special Education Services, and Dr. Crystal Turney, Assistant Director of Curriculum and Intervention Services, as well as Mrs. Kristen Abadacker, Satellite Supervisor of Northwest High School Butler Tech Programs. I would also like to thank Mrs. Wendy Puccini, our PTSA President, and Mrs. Dana Schoen and Mrs. Dorothy Haynes, our booster presidents, who have been involved in countless events to support the students and staff at Northwest High School. Seated on the floor are assistant principals, Mr. Casey Schurz, Mr. Mark Zimmerly, and Mr. George Sturgeon, as well as our athletic director, Mr. Brad Watkins. Please stand and be recognized. These administrators provide an intense amount of support to me as a principal, and I'm extremely thankful that all of us are a team. I've never worked with a group of educators who care so much about what is best for students, and I appreciate and admire the work you do every day. The students of Northwest High School benefit from having you as administrators in their lives. I want to wish Mr. Schurz and Mr. Sturgeon good luck in their endeavors for next year and thank them for all they have done at Northwest. Seated to my left are our dedicated and caring guidance counselors, Mrs. Jones, Ms. Summers, and Mrs. Schuler. These three women have worked with the graduates to check credits, schedule classes, register for the ACT, complete college applications, send transcripts, and as shoulders to lean on during difficult times. Their support is unending and much appreciated. The long hours they have worked and their diligence to make sure all of the students are here today to graduate should be commended. Please join me in thanking our guidance staff. Also seated on my left are the senior class advisors who will read the names of the graduates today. Some of these advisors have seen your students every morning for the last 4 years, have been a support system through the many changes of high school, and are honored to read your students' names this afternoon. And on my right are additional staff members participating in today's ceremony. I think I speak for our students and parents when I say we have an unbelievable staff who are devoted to the students at Northwest High School, who have high expectations, who challenge our students, who want the best for our students, and who will work around the clock to be there for the students of Northwest High School. Please join me in thanking our dedicated teaching staff. Congratulations as well to our Friend of the Children recipients this year, Mrs. Shannon Bowling and Mr. Tim Heening. Please stand. These educators stood out for their efforts to go above and beyond for the students of Northwest High School, not for the recognition, but because they have a passion for doing whatever it takes for our students to achieve at their highest potential and to promote success among our students. Our staff doesn't just say they care about students, they actually do. Please join me in a round of applause for these two teachers. There are many people without whom today's ceremony would not be possible. Thank you to our junior students who served as part of our Ivy chain this afternoon. Their names are listed in your program. Thank you to band director Mr. Tim Heening and orchestra director Mrs. Cassie Crawford and our band and orchestra members for today's music. Thank you to our choir director Mr. Sam Downs and our choir students for their upcoming performance. Thank you to the office staff, especially Heather Lane and Pam Hoffman, for all of their help organizing the many aspects of today's ceremony behind the scenes. These two women not only put in many hours for graduation, but on a daily basis, they keep Northwest High School running smoothly. And they do all of this with smiles on their faces. For that, I consider myself truly fortunate to work with them every day because they make my job so much easier and so much more fun. Thank you to Officer Boyd with the Colerain Township Police. In addition to keeping our school safe and secure, he has built many relationships with the students and families in this class and has been a great addition to our staff. Thank you to Graduate Services for their help outfitting today's graduates, Life Touch for taking the photographs of the students, and Waycross for filming the ceremony. Finally, we need to thank two very important people to the class of 2017. For the last 4 years, Mrs. Geiger and Mrs. Neville have organized many fundraisers and events for this class. Mrs. Neville is out on maternity leave, but I want both of these teachers to be recognized today. This is a thankless job, but because they care so much for this group of graduates, they worked tirelessly to make their high school years memorable and enjoyable. Most recently, they planned prom with all of the details that go with that event, and everyone who attended was appreciative of the time spent to create this memory. Please join me in thanking our awesome senior class sponsors. I'm finishing my 4th year as the principal of Northwest High School, and I consider myself very blessed to have been able to work with the over 200 graduates of the class of 2017 seated here today. These students started at Northwest the same year that I did, and this is my first class that I have been with since they started high school. I'm admitting this for the first time here on stage on the at graduation, but I was as nervous as you were to start in August of 2013 at Northwest. And wow, our high school years have flown by. I feel as if it were a few short weeks ago, and I know you do too. Even when you thought a day or a class period would never end, I would venture to say that you feel your high school career just started. And now we have come to the end. When I'm asked what the best part of my job as principal is, I never hesitate to respond, the students. This class in particular means a lot to me, and I will miss all of you greatly as you leave your time at Northwest behind today to begin a new chapter in your lives. For the past 4 years, I have ended each day by telling all of you during the afternoon announcements that I hope you had a great day of learning. Today, as you begin your new life, I still have that wish for you. Never stop learning about yourself, about those around you, about what you love, about how you can give back, about all you are capable of, and about your strengths and your challenges. Never stop taking opportunities that present themselves. But never forget that you always have a home at Northwest High School. Thank you for the opportunity to be your principal, for allowing me to get to know all of you, because knowing you is a privilege that I don't take for granted. Thank you for welcoming me to the Northwest family and supporting me throughout your 4 years as a Knight. Congratulations and best of luck in life and in what life has in store for you. And congratulations to all of the family members here today. I know you are as proud of these students as I am. Take time to celebrate their accomplishments. All of you made it. At this time, I would like to introduce our first student speaker of the afternoon, summa cum laude graduate Tu Nguyen.
Good afternoon. I would like to take this time to extend my thank you to all of you for coming to celebrate the graduation of Northwest's 2017 graduating class. It is my honor to be standing here to formally say farewell to this distinguished class. The concept of time has been explored, dissected, and analyzed since the beginning of, well, time. Leo Tolstoy once said that the two most powerful warriors are patience and time. In a world that is moving quickly, it can be difficult to slow down. We are a society with a short attention span, a community of 30-minute meals and instant gratification. But when we take the time to slow down, it is then that we can fully enjoy the fruits of our labors. As high school students, we all know the pressure of being a balancing act and how it feels to be overwhelmed, especially between tests, quizzes, projects, and presentations. It takes an enormous effort just to stay afloat. When we take the time and practice the virtues of being patient, the pressure seems to lessen its reins a little, and we find the motivation to continue pushing forward in our pursuit of success. Patience and time do not only help us fight the current high school battle between time management and the mountain of work, but it also continues to present itself in the form of opportunity and the strength to fight in the face of adversity. Benjamin Franklin's contribution to the concept of time is understood with this famous line, "Lost time is never found again." Oftentimes, we fail to cherish the enormity of a moment, big or small. There is no one else in this entire world who has experienced the exact same set of experiences that we all have lived through together. Our paths have beautifully crossed, and our lives have continued to intertwine as we are each other's classmates, peers, neighbors, but most of all, friends. We have praised and rejoiced together in the times of happiness and victory, and have held hands bound together in one great support system in times of sadness and tragedy. We are a unique group of individuals that have found each other by chance and supported each other by choice. The class of 2017 does not know of lost time. We have made the most of the time we have been given and proceed to use our time wisely in our endeavors. As one day comes to a close, another one comes near, and soon we are confronted with decisions that we must make about our future. Nelson Mandela once expressed that we must use time wisely and forever realize the time is always ripe to do something right. Some of us will continue our education through college and even more college. Some of us have valiantly volunteered to defend our great nation, and others of us have dedicated our time to getting a head start in the workforce. Whatever we choose to do, I know our class will devote ourselves to contribute something positive and impactful to society. All of the definitions of time expressed earlier by past prominent artists and leaders are vastly different, yet all their ideas have an element of similarity and truth, even today. These people seem so different, yet they all have something in common. They were all doers. They set out with a goal in mind, utilized their passion, and took extensive action to accomplish their greatest achievements. We can take their examples to inspire us to achieve our own goals in life, because ultimately, time is what you make of it. Create your own definition of what time is to you, and use that definition to inspire the next generation of bright young minds. Before today, as I looked at each and every one of you, I thought of our times and memories shared in elementary school, middle school, and our classes with the wonderful Northwest faculty in our underclassmen years. As we approached the end of senior year, I began to wonder how we were going to measure all the time we spent in school. In elementary school, we measured it as a countdown until the beginning of recess and dreading the end of it. As we got older and entered middle school, We measured it by the time until we would grow up, start high school, get our driver's license, and have more freedom. When we got to high school, a whole different countdown began, and we began to measure the time in days until we would walk across this very stage to receive our diplomas. It is surreal to be standing here before all of you, knowing that all of us have thought about this very day since the beginning of our education. Today, as I look at each and every one of you, I know I will measure my time in school not by countdowns, but by the friendships we have forged along the way and the memories that we have shared over the years. I do not know what the future will hold, but today I am a Northwest Knight. Tomorrow, I will be a UC Bearcat. But in my deepest of hearts, I will always treasure my time at Northwest. So the truth is, I will always be a Knight, and so will you. There is no greater joy than standing up here and saying that I have fought through some of the best years of my life as a Northwest Knight. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce the Nightlights who will perform 2 selections for us this afternoon.
These guys are getting themselves set up here. We have a small change in the program. This week we decided to do a piece called Demons by Imagine Dragons. We've been perfecting the song since July this year. It's got kind of a bit of a sentimental value to us, so that'll be the first song we do for you. Thanks.
Thank you to the members of the Night Lights. That was wonderful. There are several students in the class of 2017 who have accomplished many academic feats throughout their 4 years at Northwest High School. In addition to the summa cum laude graduates seated on stage, students who earned a weighted grade point average of a 5.25 or higher have obtained this distinction of magna cum laude. Please stand when your name is called and hold applause until all names are read. Ronald Berry, Haley Griggs, Kayla Harris, Caroline Jurgens, Michaela Kaminsky, Cameron Lyford, Courtney Moore, Selena Neal, James Russell, Jacob Walden. Cum laude graduates are those who earned at least a 4.45 graded point average or who obtained a 4.0 unrated grade point average throughout their high school careers. Please stand as your name is called and hold the applause until all names are read. Chelsea Allen, Abigail Bandy, Kaylee Bartley, Chavot Beasley, Aubrey Berry, Ryan Cartwright, Nicholas Caudill, Bethany Clenny, Jonah Coffey, Kayla Crooks, Garrett Crownover, Caitlin Hayes, Kaylin Hegger, Jason Hogaback, Vanessa Jackson, Holly Jones, Tiana Jones, Hannah Cash, Blake Lawson, Elizabeth Mullis, Michaela Nutting, Kelsey Owens, Jermisha Perry, Casey Prater, Logan Purvis, Andrew Reenan, Trevor Ryder, Hope Riley, Francis Roberts, Joseph Roberts, Curtis Rottinghouse, Brooke Schock, Brandon Shelton, Leah Smith, Kennedy Stevenson, Kiela Trice, Corey Weiss, and Desire Washington. Thank you.
There are 26 students in this class who were inducted into the National Honor Society. These students excel not only in the classroom, but serve their community and are involved in extracurricular activities as well. This group of students runs a free tutoring program we have at Northwest High School. In the community, they completed projects at the Ronald McDonald House and Matthew 25 Ministries, to name a few. Today, these students are wearing the National Honor Society emblem on their stoles instead of lighting in. Would these students please stand and be recognized? This is the 19th year the state of Ohio has awarded honors diplomas for graduates who meet 8 of 9 academic qualifications. Students who have met the strict criteria for an honors diploma will be recognized this afternoon as well. When our advisors read the names of the graduates, these students will be identified, as the advisor will say, with honors following the graduates' names. Our partnership with Butler Tech has afforded many students opportunities in career technical education. Students are able to choose from 14 programs between the Northwest and Colerain campuses. Additionally, students from 10 neighboring school districts, including Northwest, enroll in programs on 4 Butler Tech campuses: D. Russell Lee, Natural Science Center, Bioscience Medical School, and School of the Arts. Will all students that completed a Butler Tech program this year please stand to be recognized for your decision to participate in career technical education? Perfect attendance is awarded to students who have no absences, no tardies, and no early dismissals from school. James Russell has had 2 years of perfect attendance, and Leanne Johnson has been in attendance for all 4 years of high school. This means that Leanne was present for 720 consecutive school days. James and Leanne, please stand to be recognized. Because of the hard work and academic abilities of the students of the class of 2017, collectively $3.9 million was awarded to this group of students by colleges and universities. The scholarship amounts students received and turned into the guidance office are listed in your program. One senior this year made Northwest High School history and needs to be recognized. Individually, Carlos Boyd earned $1.3 million in scholarship offers, which is more than any other graduating senior has ever been offered. Please join me in congratulating him.
are several students who we have confirmed have made the decision to serve our country by enlisting in a branch of the military after graduation. Please hold your applause until all names are called. Students, please stand to be congratulated on your decision. Enlisted with the Army, Matthew Cool. Enlisted with the Air Force, Shay McCullen and Corey Speller. Enlisted with the Marines, Ryan Cartwright, Chandler Marshall, Noah Sammons, and Mason Seibel. Enlisted with the Navy, Benjamin Manera and Joseph Roberts. Thank you to all these students for their patriotism and commitment to protect the freedom of our country. Additional awards were given to students that we would like to acknowledge at this time. Teachers in each department nominated 2 students to recognize on Senior Honors Night for their overall contributions to the courses the students took in that department. Medals were given to the students signifying their excellence in the content of these classes. Would those students who received department awards please stand? Beyond academic recognition, there are many honors that have been bestowed on our competitive musical groups at Northwest High School, and these groups had very successful seasons. Thank you to our directors, Mr. Heening, Ms. Crawford, and Mr. Downs. Would the senior members of the band, orchestra, and show choir please stand and be recognized? Our Driving Angels group includes those students who are devoted to encouraging students to make safe decisions when operating or riding in a vehicle. This group planned the prom presentation to encourage students to think about safety not just at prom, but to also make smart driving decisions. This group is led by Officer Boyd. Would the seniors who are members of Driving Angels please stand and be recognized? Northwest High School has a strong partnership with the Cincinnati Police Federal Credit Union. We have a student branch of the credit union in our school's cafeteria, and we would like to thank Ms. Tammy West and Ms. Robin Lynn for their support and dedication to our school and to the financial literacy of our students, as well as Mr. Clark for the work he does to lead this group of students. We would also like to recognize the outstanding managers of the Knights Credit Union, Carlos Boyd, Ryan Cartwright, Courtney Moore, and Noah Sammons. Would the senior students who worked at the Knights Credit Union this year stand and be recognized?
The only way to truly capture all of the memories of the past year is through pictures and captions in our yearbook, The Excalibur. Thank you to the hard work of 3 seniors in particular, Aubrey Berry, Leanne Johnson, and Corey Speller, for their help to preserve our memories under the direction of Mr. Gilliand. Would the seniors who are members of the yearbook staff please stand and be recognized? Our senior student athletes had a memorable year as well. For the 3rd consecutive year, the boys basketball team won the SWAC championship title. Both girls and boys bowling earned Southwest Ohio Conference titles. The girls team has never lost a SWAC match. Northwest had state qualifiers in wrestling and boys bowling. This was the 6th consecutive winning season in football and the first under head coach Lee Johnson. Fatima Shabazz was the SWAC Player of the Year in volleyball. Ronell Turner was the SWAC Player of the Year in boys basketball, and Coach Argentati was the Basketball Coach of the Year. The SWAC Player of the Year for girls bowling was sophomore Sophia Fisher. Over the calendar year, we have had 10 student athletes sign on to continue their academic and athletic careers at the collegiate level. During the 2016-2017 school year, we have had 44 student athletes recognized by the Southwest Ohio Conference as members of all academic teams, carrying a 3.5 GPA while earning a varsity letter. 41 student athletes have been named to the All Southwest Ohio Conference teams in their respective sports. This includes 18 earning first team honors. Our student athletes have carried a cumulative 3.25 GPA through our 2016-2017 school year. Our Building Camelot campaign completed phase 2 this year, and we were able to host track meets for the first time in a decade with our new facilities. Aesthetic upgrades to the bleachers, scoreboard, softball and baseball fields, and weight room took place as well. Would the seniors seated in the arena who were members of varsity athletic teams please stand and be recognized?
Being a leader and being able to take initiative are important qualities to having success in life. At this time, we would like to recognize the senior class officers. Please stand when your name is called and hold your applause until all names are read. Michaela Kaminsky, President. Courtney Moore, Vice President. Shelby Ridings, Secretary. Michaela Nutting, Treasurer. Thank you to these officers for their help with planning many senior class activities and creating us many memories that will be with us for quite some time. Our Student Senate executive members organized community service events, pep rallies, dances, staff and student recognition events, spirit weeks, fed needy families in our community during the holidays, and ran organization meetings. This group is led by Miss Bowling, Miss Young, and Miss Daly. Would our Student Senate executive officers please stand and be recognized when your name is called? Please hold your applause until all names are read. President Ronald Berry, Vice President Asia Huntsberry, and Treasurer Noah White. Giving back to the community is an important aspect of being a student at Northwest High School. The Key Club is a school group that performs community service throughout the year in a variety of projects for the betterment of our school and the surrounding areas. These students are under the advisement of Ms. Taylor and completed thousands of hours of service this year alone. Would the senior members of the Key Club please stand and be recognized? United Knights is a group of student athletes selected to represent Northwest High School. This group cleaned the football stadium and gym after home events, helped with elementary nights, track meets, and band nights. This group attended leadership conferences, planned the Spooky Stroll fundraiser, and participated in community events. The advisors for this group are Mr. Van Gasbeck and Ms. Beyer. Would the seniors who are a part of the United Knights please stand and be recognized? The senior class 4 years ago started a tradition of selecting a speaker for our graduation ceremony. This year's class has chosen Ms. Danielle Stoser. Ms. Stoser is a science teacher at Northwest, but she is much more than that. Ms. Stoser is also a class sponsor and an adjunct professor through UC in order to offer College Credit Plus courses to our students. She is known as a teacher who continually pushes students to try harder, be more sciencey, and to think critically. She is a leader on staff because she finds new ways to incorporate technology into her classes and plans innovative lessons. It is my pleasure to introduce her to our class.
Thank you, Claudia. Class of 2017, do you have any idea how difficult it was to write this speech? Not because I had nothing to say to you, but because I wanted to say everything to you. You are the first class that I have been with for 3 years, so I want to say all of the things to you. Because class of 2017, you have taught me a lot of things I have learned over the past 3 years. It makes me feel super old and upset that only a small percentage of you have seen Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison. That my husband is not my boo, but my bae. Ways to get the perfect Snapchat filter, how to whip, how to nay-nay, how to make my eyebrows on fleek, and the difference between inches and extensions. Thanks, Cosmo girls. I've been able to get close to perfecting my dab and how to survive until lunch by eating a bag of flaming hot Cheetos. Cash me outside. How about that? That the word lit does not reference the illumination of a light or a burning candle, but that something is turnt or popping, which turnt is also a new vocabulary word as well. I'm serious, you all have woke me to so many things. And where you have introduced many new words with new definitions into my vocabulary, I cannot help but to think of a way to help you move from your high school status and work and operate in a world full of adults by giving you a new understanding of living your life lit. Lit, spelled L-I-T, should remind you to listen to others, have integrity, and take your time. And where these three things may seem pretty straightforward, you will learn as you grow, having the responsibility as an adult is tough. And to be honest with you, I often seek out advice from others who I consider more adultier than myself. But in order for me to take the advice of others, I have learned to listen. Listening to others is an important skill to develop as you move forward in your life. Sometimes you walk into a room and you have no idea what is going on. So my advice to you is to sit down, be humble. Sit down, be humble. Sit down, be quiet, and listen. Listening to others allows us to absorb other people's strengths. Too often we put ourselves in competition with each other rather than just listening. What if we applauded everyone's strengths instead of thinking our own strengths are more important and we worked harder to get there? Being able to listen to others allows us to be humble in the midst of other adults. Being humble allows you to realize it is impossible for you to know everything about all things. So know and develop your strengths, but also identify your weaknesses. Realize there will be others that have strengths in your weak areas. Listen and allow these people to fill your weak voids. And don't be embarrassed by this. Realize in order to move forward in society, you have to be willing to work with others. No person is an island. I mean, this speech would have never came together without the help of my wonderful coworkers. And as you may be sitting there, you may be thinking how difficult it is to listen to people you may not agree with. A lot of people think they know everything. But I have found in my personal experiences that when I am humble and listen to others around me, I can leave the situation being free by the fact that I did not act as an expert and I stayed true to myself. And in some cases, when listening to others, your integrity may be called into question, which leads me to the I in lit. At the end of the day, all you have is your integrity. Integrity is defined as having the quality of being honest and having moral, strong principles. So in short, integrity is one of the few things you can control. Everything in your life will be based off of the people that know you, whether it be for references or trying to get into a company through networking purposes. I hate to break it to you, but getting jobs comes down to whether people trust you and if they want to vouch for you. If you don't have integrity, no one will be willing to put their neck on the line for you. Integrity is who you are all of the time. Speaking of time, that leads me to the T in lit. There are approximately 5,000 hours in a high school career, and many of you now feel you are grown. But being grown and being an adult are not the same thing. You need to take more time than 5,000 hours to accomplish goals, develop dreams, and realize value. Take your time to develop your skills and goals. This may be the hardest of the three to accomplish. And to be honest with you, I am still taking the time to figure out my own life goals. And as I stand here today, most of you know me as a science teacher. However, this was not my first path of choice for the future of my life. Within my initial entrance into college, the path that I was faced with was full of adversity, failures, and difficult obstacles to overcome. This path took forever. 8 years to be exact. I wanted to give up multiple times, and I never thought I would finish. But because I took my time and I focused on my future, I was able to develop myself as an adult. It was through my failures and taking my time, I realized what sort of legacy I wanted to leave behind. It doesn't come easy, and it definitely takes perseverance. But if you are willing to take your time and figure out what excites you, your life will be filled with personal happiness. The things that excite you are not random. They are connected to your purpose, and you must follow them. In a world full of instant gratification, realize long-term goals are only achieved with time and persistence. Let me tell you, when I first entered college when I was 17, and now I'm 29, it seems like just yesterday. And even in my mind, I'm still 21. That's why I often seek advice from adultier adults. Those people have already been through experiences that I have yet to go through, even though in their minds, they're still 30, like Mr. Gillian back there. I'm looking for someone who has learned to take their time through life. So class of 2017, remember to live your life lit. Not how you use the word currently, but how I described it to you here today. Learn to listen to others, live with integrity, and take your time. It is important that you also remember to be yourself, your absolute best self. The possibility for greatness and embarrassment both exist in the same space. Being great, being your absolute best self, does not come easy though. You have to be willing to work outside of your comfort zone. If you're not willing to be embarrassed, you're probably not willing to be great. I truly believe that people who are great, are willing to be embarrassed for what they're passionate about, are the best at living their life lit. Your passion is what allows you to be yourself. When you figure out what you're supposed to do as an adult, let that passion fill you with greatness. My girl Amy Poehler says it best. Creativity is connected to your passion. That light inside that drives you. That joy that comes when you do something you love. That small voice that tells you, I like this, do this again, you're good at it. Your small voice will help you live your life lit. But the most important thing you taught me, class of 2017, is what it means to be a squad. After working with you guys for the past 3 years, it has been solidified what makes my life lit. Working as an educator really means building up a squad that I trust to inherit a world that has been developed out of their control. You have learned to problem solve and will continue to make things better for the coming generations. You have all been working hard these past 4 years to assure yourself that you can get into a good college, be prepared to join the military, or go into the workforce. But as you sit here today, you still may not know what type of person you finna to be, or what goals you want to accomplish, or what can be lit within your own life. And even if you already have a goal you want to accomplish, chances are, like me, your goal will change. And that is perfectly fine, I promise. So go forth, class of 2017, and as you do, ask yourselves, what kind of difference could I make if I just decided to live my life lit? Thank you, and best wishes. Rock adulthood.
Thank you, Mrs. Stoser. The 10 students who earned the distinction of summa cum laude graduates have obtained a minimum cumulative weighted grade point average of a 5.55 or higher throughout their high school career and are graduating in the top 5% of the class of 2017. At this time, we would like to introduce these distinguished graduates. Graduates, please stand when your name is called. Tu Nguyen, daughter of Con Nguyen and Con Trinh, will graduate with a weighted grade point average of a 5.57 and is ranked first in the class. 2 has chosen to attend the University of Cincinnati. She has been offered scholarship awards totaling over $56,000. While attending Northwest, 2 participated in orchestra, Key Club, Student Senate, National Honor Society, Honors Music Society, Spanish Honor Society, and the Superintendent Student Advisory Team. Outside of Northwest, 2 participated in tutoring elementary students and playing piano for the youth and elderly. 2 would like to thank her parents and brother for their continual support of her and her academic endeavors. Jason Hens, son of Mike and Terry Hens, will graduate with a weighted GPA of 5.47 and is ranked 2nd in the class. Jason has chosen to attend the University of Dayton. He has been offered scholarship awards totaling over $138,000. While attending Northwest, Jason participated in Student Senate, United Knights, SSAT, National Honor Society, BPA, FMP, varsity soccer, and the Knights Credit Union. Outside of Northwest, Jason participated in Young Life and club soccer. Jason would like to thank his parents for pushing him to do his best and supporting him in all of his decisions. He would also like to thank Mr. Clark for going over the top in his duty as a teacher and becoming a great mentor and friend. Claire Horn, daughter of Dave and Michelle Horn, will graduate with a weighted GPA of 5.43 and is ranked 3rd in the class. Claire has chosen to attend the University of Cincinnati. She has been offered scholarships totaling over $89,000. While attending Northwest, Claire participated in varsity soccer, Student Senate, United Knights, BPA, National Honor Society, and Spanish Honor Society. Outside of Northwest, she has played club soccer. Claire would like to thank her parents for always being there to support her and for encouraging her to be the best she can be. Danielle Cullen, daughter of Jeffrey and Christy Cullen, will graduate with a weighted GPA of 5.42 and is ranked 4th in the class. Danielle has chosen to attend the University of Cincinnati. She has been offered scholarships totaling over $58,000. While attending Northwest, Danielle participated in book club, NJROTC, and CCP. She would like to thank Mr. Chapman, one of the best science teachers around, and she would like to thank Ms. Miller for providing a sanctuary made of books through the book club and Goodreads, which was a safe haven to her. Lastly, she would like to thank her parents and the rest of her family for providing continuous support and advice. Megan Taylor, daughter of Heather and Brian Taylor, will graduate with a weighted GPA of 5.41 and is ranked 5th in the class. Megan has decided to attend Wright State University. She has been offered over $96,000 in scholarships. While attending Northwest, Megan has participated in varsity soccer and National Honor Society. Outside of Northwest, Megan has played select soccer. She has volunteered at Children's Hospital and March of Dimes. Megan would like to thank her amazing parents for always giving her support and pushing her to always do her best. She would like to thank Mrs. Stoser for guiding her to find her major for the future and for helping her get through all of the good and bad of high school, whether it be about academics or needing advice. Asia Huntsberry, daughter of Jessica Carlotta and Wesley Hamby, will graduate with a weighted GPA of 5.39 and is ranked 6th in the class. Asia has chosen to attend Mount St. Joseph University. She has been offered over $58,000 in scholarships. While attending Northwest, Asia participated in Student Senate, National Honor Society, Key Club, and Driving Angels. Outside of Northwest, Asia has worked at Shoe Carnival, volunteered at craft shows, and tutors students at Pleasant Run Elementary. Asia would like to thank her parents and grandparents for always pushing her to her limits and supporting her when needing it most. She would also like to thank Mrs. Stoser for being her role model and believing in her abilities to become an anesthesiologist. Carlos Boyd, son of Carlos and Cassie Boyd, will graduate with a weighted GPA of 5.538 and is ranked 7th in the class. Carlos has chosen to attend Washington University. He has received over $1.2 million in scholarships. While attending Northwest, Carlos has participated in BPA, KCU, United Knights, Student Senate, band, soccer, basketball, and National Honor Society. Outside of Northwest, Carlos participated in soccer, IBC Youth Group, and Young Life. Carlos would like to thank God, his dad for always pushing him, his mom for always supporting him, his sisters for pushing him to be a good role model, and Mr. Clark for all he has done to help him during his time in financial services. Fatima Shabazz, daughter of Lisa Blaine, will graduate with a weighted GPA of 5.36 and is ranked 8th in the class. Fatima has chosen to attend North Carolina A&T State University. Fatima has been offered $128,000 in scholarship funds. While attending Northwest, Fatima participated in varsity volleyball, varsity basketball, varsity track, United Knights, Student Senate, and BPA. Outside of Northwest, Fatima has participated in club volleyball and AAU basketball. Fatima would like to thank her mom, aunt, uncle, cousins, and grandparents for supporting and encouraging her along with her coaches for always pushing her to be the best at whatever she does. Emily Puccini, daughter of Kevin and Wendy Puccini, will graduate with a weighted GPA of 5.34 and is ranked 9th in the class. Emily has chosen to attend the University of Cincinnati. She has been offered over $125,000 in scholarships. While attending Northwest, Emily participated in varsity swim team, student senate, JV softball, marching band, Key Club, French Honor Society, and National Honor Society. Outside of Northwest, Emily has been involved in competitive summer swimming, youth group, mission trips, PRF softball, lifeguarding, and has been an assistant swim coach, tutor, and camp counselor. Emily would like to thank her mom for always helping her to become a better person, her father for pushing her whole family for always giving her the love and support she needed, her most close friends for being there for her teachers for never giving up on her and always seeing the best in her, especially Mrs. Stoser and Ms. Clevenger. Claudia Weitz, daughter of Jeffrey and Julie Weitz, will graduate with a weighted GPA of 5.33 and is ranked 10th in the class. Claudia has chosen to attend Christ College of Nursing. Claudia has received over $69,000 in scholarships. While attending Northwest, Claudia participated in show choir, theater, student senate, cross country, United Knights, soccer, and women's ensemble. Outside of Northwest, Claudia participated in her church choir and youth group. Claudia would like to thank God for giving her the strength to make it this far and her parents for supporting her every step of the way. Please join me in congratulating all of the summa cum laude graduates on this achievement. At this time, I would like to introduce Carlos Boyd to the podium for the senior farewell speech.
Good afternoon, class of 2017. For reassurance, for those of you who had no idea what was going on during high school, don't worry, you made it. Looking forward, the road ahead of us all is filled with mystery, and many of us might be unsure of what the future holds. And when I think of what lies ahead, I think of a quote from Confucius which reads, "Roads were made for journeys, not destinations." Some of us here have been walking the same road since elementary, others since middle school, and these last 4 years, all of us have been on the same journey, known as high school. Some of us kept it safe and spent our whole journey walking along the sidewalk. Others got a little adventurous, and we walked along the curb, getting just close enough to all the action. And then you have those of us who decided to run straight on into oncoming traffic, never used our turn signals, sped up at yellow lights, and may have even got pulled over a couple of times. But I think it's safe to say that once third quarter hit, senioritis was at an all-time high, and we've all just managed to barely coast the rest of the way to get this far. Now, as we all know, the roads in this area aren't necessarily in the best of conditions. There's always construction going on somewhere, detours that lead to more detours, and don't even get me started on the four-way stop after school. The challenges we faced on our road through high school were presented to us as long hours of homework, countless practices that all led up to our last game on the court or field, broken friendships and relationships, and all the unnecessary drama and beef that we all swore we were going to squash before the year even started. We had to choose a college, get a job, and make mom and dad proud. All of these were challenges that we faced. However, we didn't let any of this hold us back from having the time of our lives together. The negatives were outshined by all of the positive memories we were able to make these last 4 years. Whether you spent your Friday nights under the lights at football games or at a friend's house for a bonfire, whether you actually went to the basketball games or just met up with your friends afterwards for food, whether you participated in every spirit day or just pajama day, you've made memories that will stick with you forever. Memories of Mrs. McMullen explaining why an author of a story decided to make the sky blue, other than the fact that the sky is naturally blue. Memories of Mr. Flickinger and all of his crazy accents. Mr. Knoll and his tedious calculus problems, always reminding us to stay safe out there. Mrs. Stosur and her obsession with Jimmy Fallon. And Mr. Clark for always going above and beyond and being there when needed. The sad reality is, our road together is coming to an end. And although the end may scare us, we have to remember what looks like the end is often the beginning. Ahead of us is our own individual path, splitting off from the road that we've shared. Each path has its own special journey ahead of it, filled with its own twists and turns, its own construction, its own detours, its own destination. Some of our future paths might cross, while some may go in completely opposite directions. But what is important to remember is that when we look back, we'll have all the same common ground, the same memories, the same road traveled for these last 4 years. And no matter where your path may take you in life, I have no doubt in my mind that you will find your way in this world, whether that be starting a business, becoming a mother or father, you will find a way to become successful. And you will travel your path with confidence and passion until the very end. Class of 2017, it's been quite the journey, definitely one to remember, and now it's time to take that first bold step forward into our future. I love you guys, and good luck.
At this time, I'm honored to introduce to you our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Todd Bowling. Mr. Bowling, it gives me great pleasure to present to you the members of the Northwest High School Class of 2017. I hereby certify that the candidates seated before you have met the requirements prescribed by the Board of Education, and I present them to you for the conferring of diplomas.
On behalf of the Northwest Local School District Administration, I wish to congratulate the graduating class of 2017. Mrs. Smith, the credentials of the candidates presented here today has been reviewed. The candidates are entitled to the diplomas they will receive from Northwest High School.
During the presentation of our students, I am asking for your cooperation. Advisors will signal the appropriate time to applaud by saying the words "thank you" at the end of the list of graduates in their advisory. It is imperative that you do not disrupt the advisors while they are reading names so that all family members may hear all names that are read. All of the students have worked very hard to be here today, and I want each student to have his or her moment to shine. We will begin by presenting the diplomas to the seniors that are seated on stage. Ronald Edward Berry with honors. Carlos Antoine Boyd with honors. Danielle Cullen with honors. Jason Michael Hentz with honors. Claire Elizabeth Horn with honors. Asia Nicole Huntsberry with honors. Tu Nguyen with honors. Emily Grace Puccini with honors. Fatima Aliyah Niela Shabazz with honors. Megan Lee Taylor with honors. Claudia Marie Whites with honors. Thank you. Will the Student Senate members please stand to receive your diplomas? Mr. Van Gasbeck, please begin reading the names.
Joseph Paul Allender. Bethany Marie Clenny. Haley Nicole Griggs with honors. Caitlin Marie Hayes with honors. Jason Timothy Hogebeck. Michaela Nicole Kaminsky with honors. Cameron James Lyford with honors. Courtney Marie Moore with honors. Brandon Lee Mueller. Michaela Starr Nutting with honors. Kaylana Monica Prado. Trevor Thomas Ryder. Shelby Brooke Ridings. JC Morgan Russell with honors. Corey Logan Don Weiss. Noah Charles White. Thank you.
Emily Ray Allen. Caitlin Mackenzie Asher. Abigail Nicole Bandy. Kaylee Marie Bartley. River Matthew Baston. Chavot Derek Beasley. Brianna Nicole Beckelheimer. Zachary Matthew Beckman. Aubrey Lene Berry. Vernal Daniel Bloom. Megan Lynn Bounds. Corey Sean Breeden. Austin Tyler Brock. Thank you.
Brittany Rhiannon Brown. Jayla Marie Deshauna Bryant. Lydia Jane Elise Bryant. Destiny Nicole Burnett. Christian Richard Burton. William Jeffrey Butler. Kyle Jacob Butler. Markel Antonio Kane Jr. Ashley Marie Caldwell. Shakendria Marie Caruth. Deshaun Dwayne Carter. Michael De Niro Carter. Ryan Kairat Cartwright. Nicholas Andrew Caudill. Kennedy Michelle Chambers. Thank you.
Hunter Joe Chandler. Sahanity Chapman. Morgan Rose Cherry. Zachary Cordell Chesser. Jonah Michael Coffey. Jacob Jagal Collins. Tania Lene Cosby. Derek Lee Craig. Diamond Sharice Crawford. Nyrene Cornesia Trene Crawford. Jordan Stephen Krutzinger. Devontae Dejuan Jamal Cruz. Kayla Taylor Crooks. Garrett Robert Crownover. Thank you.
Terrell Matthew Danzy. Michaela Renee Davis. Victoria Renee Davis. Brittany Michelle Day. Caleb Arthur Day. Kayla Jadlyn Dean. Tyreek Devon Dogan. Matthew Gordon Douglas. Caitlin Nicole Eisenecker. Giovanni Viola Fairbanks. Heather Christine Farmer, Devontae Terrell Faulkner, Jacob Dylan Fishburne, Jazia Denise Forte, Timothy Michael Freeman. Thank you.
I just want to go ahead and remind everyone that we want to make sure that every name is heard. So please hold your applause until the advisors say thank you.
Brianna Katia Grant, Sierra Brianne Gray, Antoine Dante Green, Michael Stanford Green, Monique Lisette Guevara, Carlotta Lanice Harold, Kayla Sarah Elizabeth Harris with honors, Kaylin Danielle Hager, Olivia Marlene Heim, Maya Star Lynn Higgins, Patrick Lee Hill, Jeremiah Lori Ann Hill, Tyler David Hines, Seishan Bryant Housley, Samantha Paige Howard, Maria Ann Hubbard, Gregory Gianni Jackson, Vanessa Kelly Jackson, Alyssa Marie Johnson, Jaria John Asia Jamara Johnson, Leanne T. Johnson, Tiana Lachey Jones, Holly Marie Jones with honors. Thank you.
Hannah Ann Cash with honors, Nadia Dolores Kelly, Derek Devontae Keys, Diamond Sayon Kidd, Matthew Mark Cool, Angel Israel LaGrandiere, James Edward David Landenwich, Blake Alexandria Lawson, Isarik De Jesus Luna, Brian Anthony Mapp, Chandler Trant Marshall, Damay Lee Marshall, Shay Juan McClellan, Morgan Shay McKinney, Dylan Lee Meckling, Eric Wayne Miller. Thank you.
Kaya Chantel Mincy, Benjamin Miniera, Demanuel Isaiah Montgomery, Tom Deshaun William Moore, Adam Collis Mueller, Elizabeth Danielle Mullis, Jonathan Albert Napier, Selena Aaliyah Neal, Brianna Nicole Newman, Noah Anthony Nolte, Dana Elise Ott, Kelsey Ann Owens. Thank you.
Destiny Rose Payne. Houston Amos Penny. Jermisha C. Erica Jasmine Perry. Justice Lee Phillips. Casey Ann Edna Prater. Logan Andrew Purvis. Robert Lewis Rachel. Keanu Edwin Rial. Thank you.
Hope Elizabeth Riley. Julio Eduardo Rios Toro. Francis Marie Roberts. Joseph Anthony Roberts. Christian Michael Robertson. Jyla Simone Rogers. Justin Lamar Ross. Curtis Michael Rottinghouse with honors. James Arthur Russell. Keontae Antoine Rushing. Noah Seth Sammons. Rose Cora Schalk. Brooke Madison Schalk. Riley Jacob Shermer. Corey Anthony Schmidauer. Mason Michael Seibel. Thank you.
Brandon Matthew Shelton. Sarah Marie Smart. Leah Nicole Smith. Timothy Lee Snellgrove. Darius Lamar Snow. Corey Trey Speller. Michael Angelo Spikes Jr. Cheyenne Sarah Staley McKinney. Pianki Jalcy Stevenson. Kennedy Ray Stevenson with honors. Avetta Renee Swafford. Sray Pick C. Kevin John Tolby. Thank you.
Jalen Deshay Terry. Ashley Jade Tom. Briajna Erica Thomas. Kaylee Nicole Thompson. Nasaya Julissa Celeste Thompson. Samari Tonio Thurman. Ronald Preston Towns. Tuit T. Tran. Kiela Renee Trice. Antonio Rashawn Tubbs Jr. Ronald McKinley Turner. Thank you.
Jacob Alexander Walden with honors. Cameron Jalen Stephen Walker. Matthew Douglas Walters. Desire T. Washington with honors. Ethan David Wesley. Gianna Renee Williams. Miranda Eileen Wilson. Devin Kane Wilson. Kira Joanne Whistle. Lamia Deshay Witcher. Destiny Jade Wolf. Haley Renee Woods. Thank you.
One of the traditions we have at Northwest High School is to select one female and one male each year to represent our class as Mr. and Miss Northwest. Staff members select students based not just on their academic accomplishments, but their well-roundedness, integrity, school spirit, passion, involvement in the school and community, and their character. Not only are these students selected by the The senior class also votes on who should receive this honor. So these two students not only impress the adults in the building, but their peers as well. Today, I would like to introduce Miss Northwest Asia Huntsberry and Mr. Northwest Ronald Berry.
A graduation ceremony is filled with many traditions. Some are new traditions, while some traditions date back centuries. The mortar boards that the graduates wear have been associated with the commencement exercises for centuries. Pomp and Circumstance, the music to which we entered the arena, was first performed in England in 1901 and has been associated with graduation since.
There is, however, one more tradition we must fulfill this afternoon. Our tassels are currently worn on the right, but must be moved to the left to signify that we have earned our diplomas. This indicates that we have graduated, and this part of the ceremony will be the final tradition we will celebrate together as a class. Graduates, will you please stand and join me in moving our tassels to the left? Congratulations, Northwest High School, class of 2017.